Hello, my creative students. It's me, Crepak, your teacher in this course. Today, we will finish our study of the model creation tools. This is the third part of our series. Last time, we examined the transformation interface and its elements. Today, we'll be looking at the main modeling tools. So, let's get started. Let's begin with the main tools located in the top toolbar. The first is the Move tool. The hotkey is V, and it allows you to move an element. You can move objects by dragging the arrows. If you hold down the Ctrl key, you can move the model in increments of 0.1 instead of whole numbers. If you hold down Shift, the model will move in increments of 0.25. The tool has several modes. Global mode. This allows you to move the object along the global XYZ axis, regardless of the model's rotation. Parent mode. This allows you to move the model relative to the axis of the parent group it's in. Local mode. This allows you to move the object along its own axes. Next is the Resize tool. As the name suggests, this tool allows you to change the size of an element. If you hold down Shift, it will resize the element in increments of 0.25. If you press Ctrl, it will resize in increments of 0.1. It has a unique function with the Alt key. If you hold down Alt while resizing, the scaling will be mirrored proportionally from the center. The next tool is the Rotate tool. It rotates the model around its pivot point. In its standard mode, it rotates in 2.5 degree increments. With Ctrl held down, this value changes to 1 degree. With Shift held down, it will rotate in 22.5 degree increments. You might ask, why 22.5 degrees? This is because older Java-based models only allowed rotations at this specific increment. This tool has the same modes as the Move tool: global, parent, and local. The Pivot Point tool allows you to adjust the center of rotation. This pivot point exists for every element and group, and its location determines the axis around which the element will rotate. It shares the same global, parent, and local modes. The point moves in 0.25 increments if you hold Shift and 0.1 increments if you hold Ctrl. There is also a handy function in the interface that allows you to automatically center the pivot point on the model. The last tool is the Vertex Snap tool. It allows you to snap one vertex of an element to a vertex of another element. It works with 3 transformation modes: Move, Resize, and Rotate. There are also a couple of additional features. The first is mirror modeling. This mirrors all actions you perform on one side of an axis to the other. It's very helpful when creating symmetrical elements like arms or legs. However, I often recommend duplicating the element and manually mirroring it instead, as it can provide more control. There is also a function for changing the camera's position. Let's go back to the Resize tool for a moment to discuss some less obvious features. When the tool is active, you'll see a central circle and flat squares or tiles near the axis lines. These tiles allow you to resize the model along 2 axes simultaneously. The central circle, if you click and drag inside it, will proportionally scale your entire model up or down. Now let's move on to the main menu tabs at the top. The Edit tab contains functions like undo, viewing the model's history, creating various elements, which we've discussed before. You'll also find an option for adding a group, renaming objects and replacing name of existing object. Next is unlocking all locked elements, function for deleting elements, and mirroring of selected elements. Next, 2 functions of mirror modeling. The first is a proportional change, and the second is mirror modeling itself. The last and most familiar functions are left. Object search filter. If you have a large project, then you can find the desired object according to all its characteristics. Also, there are 2 functions to select, and do not select all objects, and a separate function to apply the opposite. The Transform tab is next, and it is perhaps one of the most useful. Remember when I mentioned duplicating and then mirroring a part of the model to create a matching second hand? The Transform tab is where you do that. Here you will find functions to scale the model, rotate any element by a specific angle, and most importantly, flip the element along a chosen axis to create a mirrored copy. You can also move the model relative to the scene center or move it directly to the center. There are also other settings that are just for appearance and hiding those or other elements from our eyes. The next tab is for UV mapping. We covered its functions completely in previous lessons. The Tools tab contains all the tools we discussed earlier. It might seem small now, but it can become the largest tab of all because this is where tools from any installed plugins will appear. Speaking of plugins, I haven't mentioned them before, so now is a good time to show you where to find them and what they do. You can browse and download dozens of plugins directly within the program from the File tab. You can also install plugins you've downloaded from the internet. Each plugin can be easily installed, uninstalled, or deactivated. The description for each plugin will always explain its functionality and what features it adds. Plugins can make your work much easier and provide new interesting capabilities. Now let's get back to the main tabs. The last one we have is the View tab. In this tab we can enter full screen mode, rearrange panels, hide the side panels, split the screen view, change the model's display appearance, configure the workspace by toggling shading, enabling the floor grid, enabling the ground plane, and enabling of pixel grid. Also, you can change the background, edit the reference image, isolate the selected element, and center the camera on the model. Next are the various screenshot functions. Screenshot of the model, screenshot of the application, a highly configurable advanced screenshot. To be honest, it isn't the most convenient as you can't visually see the frame, but you can configure its settings and use preset camera positions. Now for my favorite feature, GIF recording, which is more powerful than it sounds. With this tool, you can record a GIF, and with certain plugins, you can even record video files. You can adjust the GIF's duration, FPS, size, zoom level, and pixelation. You can set the background to a solid color or an image, choose whether to show the Blockbench interface, and even control the model's rotation speed for a smooth turntable animation. This function has the ability to change the size of the frame of the recording. In my opinion, this function should be in screenshots too. The final function is creating a time-lapse, which is perfect for recording your modeling process. And that's it! Now you know all about the interface and the essential tools for creating a model. The lesson turned out to be unforgettably productive in my opinion. That's it for now. I'm Crepak, stay creative, and I'll see you all next time. Creepy bye!